Capper's in front by 2 lengths here from Bacanali. Rangers, Jeff Fruit. King Capper's in front. F Fruit down the outside, but in front near the line, King Capper.
Welcome to the Final Gallop, proudly supported by Brisbane Airports Hotels Group and PlayUp. We have a bumper preview this week of our 16 runners at Saturday's Mooloolaba Cup meeting at the Sunshine Coast. Good morning, Tony. It heralds the start of Queensland's Racing Summer Carnival.
Yeah, good morning, Baylee. Good morning, everyone. It does. I count last week as our unofficial start, but this is the official start of our Summer Carnival. What leads us right up now until Grand Final Day, which is Magic Means Day in January. So, big race card up there at the Sunshine Coast, Swiss Ace Plate. I think that's the headline race up there. Obviously, a very, very good field this year.
Okay, let's get straight into the feature meeting. The rail is in the true position. Track is currently a good 4 with a fine day's forecast for Saturday, but some showers and a storm possible tomorrow. It'll be a wait and see what the track may or may not cop tomorrow, Tony.
Yeah, it'll be a tricky few days for the course curator up there, I'd say, because there's a lot of storm activity forecast for the southeast in the next couple of days. So it'd be certainly keeping an eye on the track rating up there. We know at the Sunshine Coast it can often rain without cloud. It's a magnet for storms, but we're getting very, very warm weather here at the moment. So any rain, I'd imagine, would be welcomed, and I'd find it highly unlikely that they would have given the track much irrigation this week. So I think they're going to need some rain. It's just how much we get and how close to the meeting we get it. So I'm going to work on good to soft ground, unless something catastrophic happens right on the day of the races.
Our first runner is in race 1. That is Barbie's sister in a 2-year-old handicap over the 1,000 metres. She'll carry 56.5 with Angela Jones, and she'll jump from barrier 9. Her early odds with PlayUp are $1.65 the win and $1.16 the place. As her name suggests, Tony, she is the sister to our retired stable star, Outback Barbie, making her debut off an impressive trial at Deagon.
Yeah, she's Barbie's full sister. Looks dead ringing for her. To head over the box, you'd swear you're looking at Barbie. So, a lot of similarities there in the way she looks, type, even the way she goes about her stuff. Quite a precocious forward filly. We saw that at the Deagon trial. She drew, out that day. She just stepped and put herself right there, and off she went. A few horses out of that trial, one in particular from the stables, come out and trialled really well, won by Big Space Sunshine Coast on Tuesday. So there's a little bit of form out of the trial. I do get nervous going to the races off these 650s. I prefer to be, have gone around the 2 corners, etc., and had it a bit longer. But look, we've done enough work with it. It's just the way the programming fell for me. I'm not worried about the draw. She's a fast filly. There's other quick horses in the race. The horse, one of the Mashanis, Lily, I think it is. Yep. I do get them mixed up. I'm sure I'm not the only one in Australia that does. It's got good speed. We'll probably roll up. We'll either be outside of it or in front of it. We're somewhere on speed, and she's well above average.
Our next runner is in race 2. That is Rising Pacific. He is in a benchmark 78 handicap over the mile. He'll carry 59 kilos with Damien Thornton aboard from barrier 11. His early odds with PlayUp are $2.60 the win and $1.40 the place. He has won 3 in a row over the mile at all different tracks. Can he make it 4 at a 4th track this prep?
Yes, he can. Awkward enough draw. Yeah. I love the start. The mile start at the Sunshine Coast is like the 1350 at Doom or the 7 at Eagle Farm. It's at the end of the back straight there, so you got a really good run pretty well to that first corner. I think that helps us. It is a tricky enough draw and will be a tricky enough ride for Damien. He's not bomb-proof, this horse. He can get himself a bit fierce. So it's just a matter of coming out quite neutral, just finding the right sort of cover somewhere. So I don't know how close he is. Some speed maps have him just in behind speed. He may be a touch further back. It doesn't bother me as long as he settles. I wouldn't care if he was 3 wide with cover. One thing about Sunshine Coast, when you go there and the rail's in this true position, you get a lot of track to work with, and I think that's in his advantage. So the start's in his advantage. The rail true Sunny Coast helps him. The big track, I think his most dominant win we saw at Eagle Farm on the big track here. Yeah. And the big track up there will really suit him. Provided he can get a bit of cover early, which I'm sure he will, I think he's very well placed.
On to race 3. It is a 3-year-old quality handicap over the mile. Felix the Scat is our runner here. He'll carry 58.5 kilos with Ryan Maloney aboard from barrier 9. His early odds with PlayUp are $9 the win and $3 the place. He was a distant 4th first up over the 1400. He does improve second up into his prep and will appreciate the rise in trip.
Yeah, he'll definitely improve. I think this trip to the mile definitely suits him. He's just drawn awkward enough.
Yeah.
He sat a bit closer than I anticipated his last start. They went very, very slow, made a sprint of it home. When they sprinted, you can just see him losing his action, then he gets into his gears late. He's going well enough, the horse. He's still an entire. so he's still well and truly intact. I just want to see him really attack the line here in this race. No doubt his work's improved. He's very fit for the mile. I don't know where Ryan will have him in the run. He could be back, he could be mid. I'm just not sure. Depends on how he steps away. But he's in good order. He's fit and healthy. This is definitely his right grade. I want to see the intent there to hit the line.
Yep. Race 4 is a Class 3 handicap over the 1200 metres. We have 3 runners in this event. We'll kick off with standing order. He'll carry 59.5 kilos with James Orman aboard from barrier 12. His early odds with PlayUp are $5.50 the win and $2.15 the place. He's third up on Saturday after a win from the front first up, and then last start a strong second after being 3 wide with no cover.
Going really well, this horse. His fortunes will be known pretty early, I'd suggest. From where he's drawn, if he steps well, I'd imagine Jimmy will take the play up and be very handy. If he's to begin a little bit awkward, it'll make his job a little bit tougher. Like I said, with Rising Pacific, this rail true helps a lot of these horses. Most starts are pretty fair there at the Sunny Coast. So if a good getaway, he's up on pace, he's racing very well, form around him's good, and he's in good order.
Our next runner is Devastating. He'll carry 58.5 kilos with Ryan Maloney aboard from barrier 4. His early odds with PlayUp are $8 the win and $2.80 the place. He's a really consistent galloper. He's gone second, first, third, second, third and third in 6 runs this prep. Now out to 1200 metres, a distance he's had 2 of his 3 wins over.
Yeah, it looks like he's been crying out for the 1200. He likes the big track too. He's been fairly luckless, this horse. He got himself caught in some really sticky situations. I thought his last run, he hit the line well, indicates his triple suiting. Looks enough tempo here. Be smothered away about third pair, looking to get plenty of room in the straight. Looks a really good chance, got good form around him.
Deer Trail will be another runner we have in this race. He has 55.5 kilos with Ben Thompson aboard. He will jump from barrier 16. His early odds with PlayUp are $9.50 the win and $3.10 the place. He's first up for the summer, coming off a trial and then a jump out last week.
He's probably our best horse in the race, I think. He's just drawn very awkward. He'll sit back in the second half of the field here with cover and look to hit the line hard. His chances will be told by how much speed there is on early. If they run along a little bit, he put a bit of pressure on, he can get into a 3 wide line with cover. He can really attack the line. He's above average. As a 3-year-old, he beat Count the Beans, obviously, who's gone on and done some good things or placed in some really good races since. So he's a smart horse, this horse. I've done plenty with him to have him ready. Just needs luck from the gate.
On to race 5. It's a benchmark 68 handicap over the 1800. We'll have Coupe de Tenaire in this race. He'll carry 60 kilos with Ben Thompson on. He has drawn barrier 22. His early odds with PlayUp are $14 the win and $4.20 the place. Second at his last 2 starts from the front, both over 1800. Last start built a massive lead when he took off on Ryan, only to be run down by 1 in the straight.
Yeah, stablemate lapped him late, but if he had just relaxed when he was out in the front, it would have helped himself a bit. He still was going a bit keen. He's any moisture in the ground will really help this horse. He loves soft ground, so if we do happen to get a storm in the morning of, it'll really enhance his chances. Big open field this. He'll roll up on speed. The wide draw doesn't worry me too much. It's the worst start there, the 1800. You jump onto that bend relatively quickly. He'll roll forward. He'll be up on speed. You know he's going to be really tough at the 1800, and he's always competitive in this grade. So he's in his right grade of race. Solid, tough, fit horse, races well at the track. Storms around. He's a good each way chance.
Race 6 is a Class 6 plate over the 1200 metres. We have 4 runners in this event. Mass Destruction will be our first runner. 58 kilos he'll carry with Angela Jones aboard from barrier 2. His early odds with PlayUp are $14 the win and $4.20 the place. He's first up on Saturday, coming off an easy trial a fortnight ago. Has a very good record at the track and a good draw. Yeah,
it's a good race, this Class 6 plate. You can certainly tell the carnival's kicking off. This is a really good Class 6. Low draw helps. I think Angel really suit him. Comes off a below par run in the Wheatwood, however he trialled good after that. She's got lovely soft hands. We'll let him travel probably midfield, defence, something like that, and look to find plenty of room. He'll attack the line well. He's always well placed in this grade.
Another runner we have in this race is Mullane. He'll carry 58.5 kilos with Ryan Maloney aboard. He'll jump from barrier 7. His early odds with PlayUp are $13 the win and $4 the place. He was disappointing first up, but he's working really well. The big track of the Sunshine Coast should help, and we know he has the ability.
Yeah, I thought first up the race was very, very messy. He got back and wide and never got much room, and a race that was just dominated by on-speed horses. His run was probably better than it looked. His work since has been great, as you know. Baylee galloped him quite a lot. He's a very fit horse. he's definitely up to this grade. We saw that in the winter, we've seen that in Melbourne before he come here. So what I want to see with Mullane is a smooth run off, a good draw. He'll just lob into a nice spot just behind speed somewhere. I reckon he's no further back than probably third pair, and looking to get plenty of room in the straight. He's a colt that's going to want some room. If he gets it, he's a big improver off his first up run.
For sure. Another runner we have in this race is Freedom Rally. He'll carry 57 kilos, with James Orman aboard, and he'll jump from barrier 15. His early odds with PlayUp are $3.20 the win and $1.55 the place. He's first up for the summer. He really progressed through the grades last prep. He's now 4 from 6, and he had an easy jump out last week to bring him on for this.
Yeah, he's in good order, this horse. He's possibly the best horse in the race, maybe going forward. He's a really nice animal. Barrier makes it tough. I just don't know where he gets there. I know he's a better horse ridden sort of, just off him with a bit of cover. He can really find the line. That might be pretty tricky here from this gate. So think about that as we get closer and we see what the actual makeup of this field is post scratchings on Saturday. Any luck from the draw, he's very, very hard to beat, this horse. He's a nice animal. He's just got to be able to get in from his gate.
Count to Beans will be our next runner, 55.5 kilos with Damien Thornton aboard from barrier 6. His early odds with PlayUp are $8.50 the win and $2.90 the place. He's also first up and looked good in a jump out last week.
Going really well, this horse. He's enjoying his prep so far. It's been faultless with him. He really wants rain around.
Yeah.
These storms forecast this, for this weekend are a big plus for him. Any moisture in the track and you just enhance his chances no end. He's very ready, fresh up. He'll lob into a midfield spot, I'd say, from where he's drawn, or maybe a touch worse. Be very, very strong to the line, but his chances will be enhanced by rain. He needs the showers. He's never won on a good track. He's only won on tracks with a bit of give in the ground. So any rain about, his chances improve dramatically.
Race 9 is the listed Swiss Ace Plate over the 1,000 metres, a race our stable has won the past 3 years with Sugar Boom, Zoustyle and then La Palmiere last year. We have 5 runners in this year's race. We'll start with Nettuno. He'll carry 58.5 kilos with Ben Thompson aboard from barrier 6. His early odds with PlayUp are $23 the win and $5.50 the place. A horse he's done a lot of work with since last prep. Has looked good in his most recent trial and jump out.
Yeah, the fact he's $23 sort of tells you how strong this race is. It's a very good race. This is probably one of the strongest renditions of the Swiss Ace I've seen. And like you said, we haven't won it the last 3 years. Really good horse. He's done a bunch of work with him. The team at Embrook did a heap before he came back in. A lot of different equestrian stuff with him. Get him to give to the bridle a bit more. I'm really happy with his 3 trials. We've played with different gear on him for each of the trials and just mucked around with him, and to the point where he's going terrific, the horse. I'm sure of that. He's got a tongue tie fitted to him. He'll just jump, and there's so much speed here. They'll go along quick. Hopefully we'll get to just a midfield spot. I'd imagine we're midfield, just travelling nice and give him plenty of room to run on. He could be a big knockout in this race. This race suits him just for the amount of tempo on. Teach him to get off the bridle and attack the line. This race shapes what we do with him the rest of the summer, but definitely has the ability to figure here.
Situation Room will carry 57 kilos with Angela Jones aboard from barrier 10. His early odds with PlayUp are $19 a win and $5 a place. He won an open 1100 metre event at Doomben before finishing 4th in the listed Toowoomba Wheatwood. He had a nice trial a fortnight ago.
Yeah, he was very fat in that trial. He's improved a lot off that. Done a couple of nice pieces of work with him. He's always been a bit of a giant killer, always a bit underrated, this bloke. You'd have to do that again here. Yeah. This is such a good race. He's got good speed himself, but I'd imagine he'll take a trail on that speed. He'll be somewhere, 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that. And look to be very strong at the end of the 1,000, knowing that he can get a good solid 1,200. So he's a knockout hope, but he'd need to absolutely bring his best to win this.
Another runner we have in this race is Zoustyle. He'll carry 56 kilos with Ryan Maloney on from barrier 12. His early odds with PlayUp are $4.60 the win and $1.90 the place. Was valiant in 2 runs in Melbourne over the spring. He has a short let up and back to try it to win the race he won 2 years ago.
Absolute summer star, this bloke, and all the times we raced him over the summer, he's been unreal. So he never comes up quite as good in the winter.
Yeah. So
I was so keen when we backed off him in the spring to have him ready for this summer carnival. I saw his jump out last week. He just showed you he's right up to the mark. Very, very happy with him. Obviously drawn wide, but the horse possesses so much speed like he does. I'm not too worried. There is a lot of speed in this. Yeah. Obviously Prince of Boom's the early favourite. He likes to do one thing too. So we're going to use our gate speed here. We're going to ride him to his advantage, our horse. He's the one I think he's also got to beat. Yeah. Really happy with him.
F Troop, will also be in this race. He'll carry 56 kilos with Damien Thornton aboard from barrier 13. His early odds with PlayUp are $20 the win and $5 the place. First up and strong through the line and jump out behind Zoustyle last week. Only just beaten first up over the 1,000 last race.
Run really well. Wide draws, I think, in his favour. He hates being cluttered up in amongst horses, so he'll be in a 3 wide line somewhere with a bit of cover. He'll be back in midfield or worse here. They'll go along so quick. We won't be out to, for a horse that used to be an out and out speed start, we won't be out to drive him hard out the gate. So we'll just let him find his own rhythm. 3 wide with cover, looks to be very strong late. I think he's one of the horses here. There'll be quite a few horses when this race is over that'll have the red flashing light on them for next start.
Yep.
I don't know whether he can win giving them a start, but he's one that you'll want to follow through this summer as we make our way back to Magic Man's Day with him.
Our final runner in this event is Osamu. He'll carry 56 kilos with CJ Graham aboard from barrier 2. His early odds with PlayUp are $23 the win and $5.50 the place. In good form, winning an open handicap at over 1,000 metres at Eagle Farm 2 starts ago and only just beaten last start at Tractor Trip.
Yeah, he'll run really well, Osamu. He's the race fit horse of our brigade here. He's a real 1,000-metre horse. He'll put himself up on speed. This is a good race.
Yeah.
Is he up to this grade or not? We're going to find out. I would have preferred to run him in something probably a little bit easier, but these were the options I was given. He'll race tough up on speed. I doubt he'd lead these. I'll go pretty quick here, but he'll be positive enough. He'll be handy. CJ knows him well. He'll race well. Just maybe a touch vulnerable late at this grade.
We're in the final furlong of the Final Gallop. Who is your best winning chance at the Sunshine Coast on Saturday?
I'd love to say little Barbie, but I don't want to put any more pressure on her. She's already short enough in the market. So I'll go with Rising Pacific. I like this horse. He's making his way through the grades well. Been able to just place him nicely. I think this is another lovely place race for him. So Rising Pacific is my best at Sunny Coast.
Who is your best each way chance?
Got a stack of good each way chances in their races. Like even Zoustyle could get out to each way odds $5 depending on what happens in that race. It's an interesting betting race, as we say. I'll go with Deer Trail first up from a good break. Done plenty with him. He's better than Class 3 grade. I think he's very close to a listed level horse. So I know he's got a bad draw and he'll get back off him and run on, but I think he's about $10 or better in the market. I think he's a good each way play, but like I said, we have many each way chances on the day.
Who is your best in work this week?
In work this week? I'm pretty happy with Zoustyle. I reckon he was super the other morning, did everything he wanted. I thought Mullane was very good. He got up in company, he was terrific. There's quite a few nice workers there. And must count the beans, he's going brilliant. Very, very fit horse. So if that rain comes, you can look at him as well. So teams work really well. Of all the workers over the last week, I'm going to go with Barbie's sister. Very excited by her.
Very nice. Who was your performance of the week?
I wouldn't have much to rave on about last Saturday. It was a pretty tough day at the office, there's no doubt. I'll go back to last Tuesday, Melbourne Cup Day. I think it counts within the week, maybe. I don't know if it does. Sunset Soiree. Yeah. I thought she was brilliant. I know she had a good bunny and Cooper there out the front, but I love the way she put them away the other day. I think we're just backing off her now to head to the Gateway, then on to some, hopefully the Wave races like that. I think she's in for a good summer if we can keep her up. I'm really happy with her.
Now, courtesy of PlayUp, its stable special offer this week is $3.50 for Zoustyle to finish top 2 in the Swiss Ace.
Wind it out a point, give us a bit more, I reckon. He's a bit stingy, $3.50. He's absolutely flying, this horse. Super happy with him. He comes to hand every summer when we're lucky enough to have him in the Summer Carnival. So I think he'll show that again on Saturday.
It's now time for this week's Cav's Corner, supported by Brisbane Airports Hotels Group. No joy for Cav last week. Let's see what he has for the punters this week.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. Big metro meeting at the sunny coast, but we'll venture to Ipswich for the first part of the multi. We'll go White Ribbon, a win, and then we'll venture to the sunny coast on the Saturday, and the second leg of the multi is this horse behind me here, Rising Pacific, a win. Good punting, guys.
So he's gone White Ribbon, a win Friday at Ipswich, into Rising Pacific, a win at the Sunshine Coast.
Why has he put the pressure on poor old White Ribbon? Jeez, he's tough. Linda, I apologise in advance for Cav for this. But she's going well. She's found the right grade of race at benchmark 55. Off a low draw. Smithers on board, Dale Smith. He's very keen to get it to the 1350, so I hope he's right. Anyway, a bit of pressure there. And if she doesn't win, well, there's nothing surer than the second leg of a failed Cav multi. So Rising Pacific will just tighten right up in the market.
Good luck for our huge start to the Summer Carnival, Tony. Hopefully we can land the Swiss Ace Plate for the 4th year in a row.
Yeah, looking forward to the Sunny Coast, guys. It's going to be a big Summer Carnival here in Queensland. Sunshine Coast, rail true, big track, plenty to work with, big fields and many chances in each race. So should be a great day's punting and bring on the summer.